for 8 or 9 years, but I really need help. So I'm asking him to help me in Radio Land. So he is out recruiting, which was, most of y'all know Mr. Thomas Anthony Sinisi's job in the past. So welcome your guest. Should you introduce her first, and I'll bring her on for you.
All right. Well, it's my pleasure to introduce to you Marci Kosich, and she's a very gifted paranormal lady who I've had the pleasure of knowing for about 4 years. She does what I would classify Reiki toning. In other words, this is where she does tones through her 3D physical human voice, and these tones are of such a wonderful energy that they bring about physical changes in the people that are actually in synchronicity with her to actually listen to the tones. They bring about physical changes, mental changes, emotional changes, and help that person, unblock and unstop energies that may have been held up in their energy fields, whether it be through their chakras or whether it be through their aura, and even unleash past life histories and all things of this nature. And Marci's been doing this now for quite a while. She is a published author. She is, I believe she's published at least 3 or 4 books, and she has been on Blog Talk Radio previously and in different forums. So she is fairly well known, but of course, like the rest of us, the more audience and larger the audience you reach, the better it is for everybody. And so, like the rest of us, she's had a life that was filled with ups and downs, family situations and that kind of nature, and I feel that she's probably been awakened now fully for probably at least a couple of years or longer. And she can tell you more explicitly herself. So it's my great pleasure to welcome now Marci Kosich.
Okay, now I see 2 lines. I believe she's called in on her phone and Skype, but let me see this one that says Marci. Marci, can you hear me? I'm going to one. She dropped. All right, well, let me check the phone then. Marci, did you hang up on Marci, or can you hear me now on your phone? Hello?
Hello, who's this?
She dropped on Skype. It said Marci, and then when I hit it, it cut her off. So maybe she'll go back. Her phone's listed here, and
she was giving in the dial-in number, and that's the way she should be contacting us, by dialing. I'm not sure who you just reached. I didn't recognize that lady's voice.
No,
that didn't sound like her.
Did you hear somebody? I didn't hear anybody.
Yes, I heard a lady's voice, and it was very deep in tone, and I knew for a fact that was not resonating with the Marci I know.
Interesting. Well, I saw Marci. All right. Well, Marci, the call-in is 347-945-7207. Could this possibly be someone from California? Is this Suzanne or Johanna, possibly? Hello?
Hello, would you kindly tell us your name? Hello?
I guess they're just listening. Okay. Well, we had a Marci and does 775-300 sound familiar?
Yeah.
For Marci?
I think. 775 prefix, yes.
Okay, now it says Marci. I think both of them were Marci. Now let me try this one.
That could be.
Marci, is that you on Skype possibly? It says Marci. Apparently we can't hear her. Do you have your sound muted on your Skype, Marci? Because I can see you, and I've turned you on by Skype and by phone. So your Marci on Skype dropped and went to your phone, and we couldn't hear you. So she may have her phone muted, or she may not be. She may.
This is silly. Hang on a second.
Well, you want?
I'm going to reach out. I'm going to reach out and call her and find out what's going on. I mean, that's the only logical thing to do.
Can you guys hear me?
There she is.
Richard?
Yes, I hear you fine now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, good. So I'm trying to both the computer and I'm going to get a good set of headsets for the Skype, but I'm on headset on my phone right now.
You know,
well, keep it on the phone, please.
I am. I tried the other way and it didn't work, so I had to do trial and error. But I did hear Richard talk about and introduce me, and I've been on several radio shows. One of the things I do with the sound Reiki is I did it when I was 25 and I worked on Arenum, and I started from doing the sound Reiki from there. And people were starting to feel more relaxed. They were starting to get addicted to it. And that's how I've been doing energy work, because I was told when I was 21 that I do psychokinesis, which is moving and clearing energy. So with my clairvoyance, clairaudience, and clairsentience, and along with my tones, I'm able to transmute lower carbon energy of shame, fear, guilt, kind of like oil compared to we have light energy underneath of water. And then so when I do it, as I worked on Richard for the last 4 or 5 years, and Richard and I have a good exchange, we will see past lives coming out. It will hit the tones where your 8th level of your DNA healing, from what Chiron says, will start your body will start healing itself. So it will be past lives. It will be inner child. It will be different images that will come in, and the energy will transmute to allow more light to come in.
And just as further clarification, of course, Marci also channels, because a lot of the times her tones that are being broadcast through her physical 3D self are often being passed through her through ascended masters like Kuan Yin, or the Council of Nine, or the Pleiadians, or the Syrians, or the golden light beings that's all I know to call them, because they're very tall light beings of gold.
Well, welcome.
Richard would always verify the people, like this person, this entity, these people. So Richard and I have massive Skype communications. And what I was told when one of my clients, when I worked on Uranium, started channeling, named Annie, they came into, Elohim came through. I had never heard of Elohim. They're like, we like what you do. And so through the year and a half before Annie kind of flip-switched on me, I learned a tremendous amount. I said, what do my tones do? And they said the tones do it where we can work on people's Akashic records.
Well, welcome. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
yes,
thank
I hear you.
Everyone. This is Marci, and this is
Hello?
wonderful. I got to meet her briefly on telephone. There's some kind of loud sound. I don't know if you're moving. Yeah, it's coming from you.
No.
I muted. It's not coming from me, but now it's quiet. Okay, I muted Richard and then came back on. But when sometimes it picks up if you move, if you're interesting. Okay, so folks, we hope we have a really good communication. We've had a little trouble getting into Blog Talk or showing busy, but we think we've got it. Ooh, Marci, it's your wire on your headset. Can you talk to your phone without the headset?
Yeah.
Would you try that, please?
Okay, is this better?
Much better. Thank you. Yeah, a lot of people are convinced they need headsets, and they don't with Blog Talk. So you sound normal. Thank you. It was your headset. What happens, folks, is when you use headsets, the wires in the copper get broken from moving the wire around, and it scratches like you're taking an old timey record and taking the needle and going across the vinyl.
Okay.
And you'll be able to hear that on the show. But thank you for joining us, Marci. I would like to do a quick little interview with you because Richard has gone over the last show or so, and I feel like I'm getting to know him. but I don't know you. So if you don't mind, tell me and my listeners, we all have different groups, even though you've been on Blog Talk from time to time with others. Give us an idea of all my groups and social media and listening around the world. Give us an idea of who you are, where you were born, and a little bit about your culture, if you're American, basically how you grew up, high school, just a little bit of a LinkedIn bio or a Facebook bio type things, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah, and my books that I wrote about 10 years ago explain I was brought up emotionally abused, and a lot of psychics were abused, and so we had to learn to be the hunter or the hunted. And so that's where we had to learn to sense danger or be aware. I grew up in Piedmont, California. My book is that they're on Amazon. It's called We're After You Wizards. The ones that I just recently did was called acronym of Theta for Tarot, Healing, Energy, Tones, and Ascension. And I'm clairvoyant, I'm clairaudient, I'm clairsentient. I've been, I was up in 1989. I went up to Spokane, Washington. Suzanne did a bunch of channel drawings with me, and she did one of me of being Little Gray Cloud, which my friend Shauna ended up doing also of Little Gray Cloud and of White Eagle. The automatic drawings that I got were the chief among 12 chiefs. So my friends and I, when we were growing up, around 17 or 18, we started dabbling in Ouija boards. I saw my first spirit on the wall. So a friend of mine and I were like playing the Ouija. I don't do the Ouija board. That was the only time, because you never know who you're going to bring in. But it spelled out the name. And so from 18 on, after I moved out of my parents' house, because I was told I was stupid, I don't think, I'm a pig. My father had a passion for picking arguments with me. And so what my passion is starting off and empowering people, because where I started off with being guilty, shameful, all the other stuff, to take back my power and to teach people to take back their power of people manipulating, selling you out, all that other stuff that's going on. So it's hard to explain my life because it's pretty much a book. From 19 on, I went into doing pair work, and they were into metaphysics. And we went to a channeler. I said, what do I do? And through the channeler, they said, you do psychokinesis. I said, what's that? And they said, moving and clearing energy. And then somebody, when I was 25, did tones on me. And then when I worked on Aranum about 8 years ago, which is an international Skype psychic company, I started doing tones. I just wanted to dabble in it. They could see me. I couldn't see them. It was all text. People were starting to, I feel better, I feel lighter, I feel this, I feel that. So for the last 10 years, I have been incorporating all of my abilities and meeting people like Richard and doing several radio shows and just building a support group, and had to eliminate a lot of my friends, a lot of them that were in the book, as to they either sold me out or they said they were spiritual, but they had their level of spirituality, and I just had to move on.
Now, who is Susan?
It's been quite a journey.
You evoked the name
What?
Susan. You evoked the name Susan. So who is Susan? Because we know quite a few in our radio shows.
Well, no, Suzanne's in Spokane, Washington. I did a bunch of healings up there. And I met her, and she did a lot of automatic drawings. There's one painting that she did of me. She's done past lives. So it's somebody from, about 40 years ago, 30 years ago that I knew. And I've met so many different people like Richard and you, and very much guided, because every time I think I'm going right, they send me left, or vice versa. So
now, who is
through
they?
all
When
this,
you say they,
the masters.
Okay,
The masters.
So remember, we're just getting to know you. So we
I
talk very
know.
3D on the first show when we bring somebody on into our group. We talk very physical 3D, and then we get into our higher selves. But that's fine, because you're being you. You're being Marci, because you're accustomed to doing radio. So, folks, she's accustomed to doing shows like this, but I'm having her start like baby steps for all of our listeners
Right.
that are in Invisible College are Metaphysics 101.